afternoon, everybody. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world today. Welcome to the Straight to YouTube special Casual Report Plus with your boy JT. No one else on my lonesome today, unfortunately. Fortunately for me, but not unfortunately for you, because you get more content, which is here or there, really. But we'll see. We're just going to get into the nitty gritty today. I've got a Nintendo Direct hangover. Two absolute banger announcements for me yesterday. I'm not sure if you enjoyed the Nintendo Direct. Please let me know downstairs if you did. But we're just going to crack on. A few non-game related, well, it's nerdy related, but not game related really, bits to talk about prior to getting into the nitty gritty gaming stuff. So first up, we have Vanity Fair. This is an article by Anthony Bresnik. Anthony, mate, come on. Tony Bresnikan, sorry Tony, mate, and Joanna Robinson. Can I say that one? This is, I believe they watched a few episodes of Lord of the Rings. There's been a few images that have been released. Obviously the trailer is due to drop at the Super Bowl, which I believe, don't quote me, I'm not up on my NFL, I believe it's Sunday that drops. But again, if it's Sunday and it's not here, who knows, whatever. Amazon's show, which debuts on Prime Video on September 2nd, is based not on a Tolkien novel per se, but on the vast backstory he laid out, which is very, very interesting to me, because I'm curious as to where they're going to go with this, to be honest, because obviously the Lord of the Rings trilogy is one of the trilogies of all time, right up there with your Star Wars and your Back to the Future and all that, is right up there. For some people it's cream of the crop, to be honest. 5 seasons will likely cost the studio well over $1 billion. That kind of budget might decimate most of the other studios, but Tolkien, like space travel, is a personal obsession for Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Well, yeah, so I mean, obviously he's going to put money into that. I hope it's good. I hope we can recapture the Game of Thrones-esque. I know it's not going to be as raunchy. Who knows? I don't know, but I just assume it's not going to be as raunchy, and I don't think it'll be as in-your-face violent as Game of Thrones was. But they did do the, Game of Thrones was massive when it was out. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope it recaptured. I missed Game of Thrones when it was out. When every week it was like, oh, did you watch it? This happened, this happened, this happened. I'm like, yeah, mate, I missed that, man. And then it's just, because of a shit ending, it just sort of vanished from the face of the earth. I've never seen anything like it, ever. But I'm looking for the pictures there, which you can see, and I'll post a link to the article I'm reading now over downstairs as well in the description. But the cast look good. The set is looking fresh. It looks straight out of Middle Earth, and hopefully I'm shouting for it. I hope it does well. Hope it's good, and we'll see later on. But we'll crack on as the director of Uncharted is working on a Jak and Daxter adaptation. This is Giovanni Colantonio. That was quite good. I'll take that. Reading this from Digital Trends. So Sony's eyeing another one of its iconic video game franchises for a TV or movie adaptation, Jak and Daxter. Uncharted director Ruben Fleischer, I think that's right as well, so I'm on a roll here, confirmed that he's currently working with PlayStation on an adaptation of the platformer, and I believe this is the article. It should mention that Tom Holland has expressed an interest to play Jak in said whatever it is, whether it be a TV show or a film. I'm not sure what. Probably a TV show would work. Is it going to be animated? This is the question. Would it, like a real CGI looking Jak look too weird? Like, probably like a walk out of Uncanny Valley, but with that, I'm not too sure. And obviously everyone loves Jak and Daxter. I mean, it's the spiritual successor to Crash Bandicoot. It's not a spiritual successor, but you know what I mean. It's the next lap from Naughty Dog when they moved from Crash Bandicoot to Jak and Daxter. It's very good on the PS2. It's probably showcased the power of that console in its infancy. So just as the PS2 came out, I think it was 2002-ish. Could be 2001, actually, I'm not sure. But it did showcase that you you could have these open 3D areas, seamlessly-ish looking things, but we'll see. Jak and Daxter is another series from Uncharted developer Naughty Dog. Again, yeah, the Uncharted film is out, which I do want to watch. I know Jam's going to watch that, I think this weekend, he said, but I'm not sure. Well, I'll get it out of him. If he liked it on the show or not, I'm sure he'll have something to say about it, because he is a big Uncharted fan. I don't know if you watched the show before. He sits with Nathan Drake stood behind him in that poster, so anyone is, gonna tell us is gonna be, ruthless in their analysis of that film. It's gonna be Jam, don't you worry. But we'll carry on. So, notably, PlayStation Series Ratchet and Clank did get the animated film treatment. It did. Apparently, that's a good film. No, it's not. That's a good game. The film's shit, apparently. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm sure whatever happens, Jak and Daxter will be good at least, or medium rare. Who knows? Well, that is room feature. Let me know. Would you watch Jak and Daxter TV show? Would you watch a film? Would you want it animated, CG, stop motion, whatever? I don't know what the fuck you want, but let me know. I think I'm interested to see where that goes, to be honest, because Jak and Daxter's cool. I hope we get a new one soon. Potentially not by Naughty Dog, because they're too busy making The Last of Us and Uncharted, and obviously apparently I do wonder if that space IP is real, what they're doing, but it is what it is. So I don't know, and I don't. And I'll play the next game nonetheless. Don't you worry. But moving on to video game focused stuff. Now, yesterday you may have seen it on the old Twitter, on the old Facebook, on the old Instagram, that a Nintendo Direct happened. We watched it. As you can see here, the Nintendo Direct happened. There was some big announcements here for me. I've had the night to think it over. Like I said yesterday, I've written everything down when I was watching it, because I always forget what happens. So from the top, I'm going to be dead quick. I'm sorry. Fire Emblem Musu game, Advance Wars, Mario Strikers, mate. Splatoon, Front Mission First, Disney Speedstorm, Force Unleashed. That looks weird, that one. Assassin's Creed Ezio, some Gundam thing which looked cool. Kirby got a new trailer with he just eats a car and he just starts driving around. That was cool. Chrono Cross Remastered was finally announced. I'll get to that in a second. MLB The Show, Kingdom Hearts, I get for some reason, whatever. Klonoa is back. Portal, Live or Live? Live or Live? Live Alive? Whatever it is. Nintendo Switch Sports, which is Wii Sports, which I'm very excited about that, and I'm intrigued. I'm not buzzing about it, but it's one of them where you get it to play with your friends and family who come over. I don't think I'd sit on my own and start getting the high scores or whatever on the bowling or whatever. Taiko no Tatsujin, I think that's how you say that. That's that drum game with the bongo thing. That looked pretty cool. Triangle Strategy got a bit of a cheeky update. Got a demo out. Apparently it's really good. Not a chance to play it myself. Cuphead's DLC, a bit more of that. Metroid Dread got a dead easy mode and a dead hard mode. And Earthbound on the SNES and Earthbound Beginnings on the NES Nintendo Switch Online membership subscriptions. And the big one, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, I did enjoy this direct, to be honest with you. I usually do, even when they're not very good, or when they're not, I say not very good, not catered to my taste. I still enjoy watching and everyone getting hyped and things. I feel like it's a good moment when people are buzzing. I also, but for me, I'd say 2 of my top 3 most requested things was on this direct, which it's going to lead me to be, if it's going to be a 9 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you'd rate it. If you think, oh, none of it speaks to me, it's a 3 over a 4. That's totally, I get it, because if you don't like JRPGs, you don't like sports games, not much here for you, to be honest. Maybe a few collections from like PS3 era games, and perhaps a few remakes of it, but they even they're JRPGs, aren't they, to be honest? So it is what it is. But I totally get it. If like, wasn't really anything there for me. That's cool. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3, been waiting for this for so long. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is probably my favourite Switch game. So to get a sequel to that, and permission off the boss to use my Christmas money to get the special sexy edition. Well, you know, that's JT's having a good time there. Also, Mario Strikers, you see behind me, that is one of my favourite video games of all time. It's one of them games where if there was a competitive scene, I could rub elbows with the best of them. I'm sure everyone's got a game like that where it's either a first-person shooter or turn-based, like some people Pokemon or whatever, or Rocket League's one, and so on. But there's not really, not that I know of any. Perhaps there is somewhere, but not a competitive scene for that game. But there's one that I could rub elbows. I could at least try and force my way in. It's one of them. I have a good time playing it. Even when you lose, it's the classic Mario sports game where you just love it. I'm trying to we're going to stream it as well when it comes out, so be sure to check that out on twitch.tv/the_casual report. And also we'll probably do a casuals club. There was a club thing in there as well, which looks cool. Hopefully you'll join us. Now Xenoblade 3. Yeah. First off, Mario Kart 8 is getting DLC. A 9-year-old game is getting paid DLC. That's just crazy. That just shows you what a juggernaut Mario Kart 8 Deluxe actually fucking is, because it's sold like 400 billion copies, and it's still gonna. They put the DLC on the expansion of the Nintendo Switch Online, which I was like, oh, it's 25 quid, not too bad for 48 tracks. But I think we figured out it was about, what was it, 50p a track or something like that. It works out as, so it's good going. But even then, on top of that, you're getting it free with the expansion pass, which is what I'm part of a big family group, so I pay about £5 a year for it. So I don't think it's a £5 a year. I think it's about 7 or 8 quid. I'll have to ask Jam and double check. I'm not too sure. But fair enough. I don't think there's any new ones. I think they're all from older games, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's an easy way to make a few more quid off Mario Kart 8. We're not getting Mario Kart 9, like, ever, I don't think, at this point, because whatever, man. Do you know what I mean? And I love Mario Kart 9. Mario Kart 8 is really good. It's probably my favourite Mario Kart game, so I'm not whatever in it, but and people get pissed off at me in Mario Kart as well, because I just, oh god, people, you play Mario Kart, yeah, no worries, bam, but whatever. And obviously, yeah, we go to before we go to Xenoblade, I've just got a new thing. MLB is doing what I've always dreamed of, which is you can carry your save, you can carry your progression from your Switch to your Xbox, to your PlayStation, to your PC. Is it on PC? I said this yesterday, I can't remember. I think it is. It would be. I would have thought they would have put it on PC, but do you know what I mean? They're going to cross save everywhere. So I am sitting here and playing MLB The Show. I've got to go out, I'll take my Switch, pick up where I left off, bang, straight on it. Again, MLB's not my cup of tea, don't get me wrong, but that speaks to me. And imagine just playing, I don't know, Elden Ring, for example. Elden Ring wouldn't be on Switch, it's a bad example, but I'm fucking laying waste to these fucking monsters, and then I've got to go out, grab my Switch, picked up where I left off. Obviously the fidelity would drop, the frame rate would drop. I'm not saying that, you know what I mean, no. But that's why the Steam Deck it speaks to me a bit, honestly. Whatever. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3, we'll get there in the end. There it is. I don't even start with this. I knew it straight away. Second that dude on with the flute and the British accents come out, I'm like, okay, this is cool. Because Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the most underrated things it does is have like regional accents, or regional dialects, if you will, for the different, like the Mauritanians they're all Scottish, Rex is Manchester, and the one that near is, I forgot. I'm a fake fan. Whatever, you know what I mean? They're all Welsh, and there's like a distinct tone difference in the dialect, and it feels like you're traversing the world, and it feels like the world is big and there's different people around and different. It just feels lived in. The world just feels lived in and like sectioned off, if you will. But I mean, that goes on. I feel like that's near in the trailer. I can't be too sure because I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's definitely the same race. Let me just check what race it is. I should have done this before the show. I'm so sorry. Before I hit record, but I'm too far in now. Too far in. Near. Oh, she's. I nearly spoiled something then. Oof. Come on, mate. Just what is she? She is Gormott. Thank you. So the Gormott races in it. Do you know what I mean? And I feel I genuinely believe that's near because of the Fanbyte article where they said that so Fanbyte said that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 starts in the distant future, which this appears to be within the same timeline. I'll get to that in a minute. And there's different people from different games talking on whatever, and obviously I believe it's Jenna Coleman as well further on in the trailer. At the end, I believe that is Jenna Coleman, but I don't know her. I know Melly, of course I know Melly, but I mean it's quite distorted a bit, and I feel like she's behind her voice talking a lot, and it's kind of hard to pick up. Do you know what I mean? So I feel that is Melia, or at least Jenna Coleman portraying a version of Melia that we're getting as well. And also, there's been a tweet as well. Tetsuya Takahashi from Monolith Soft has shared a message in light of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 announcement. Sorry, I love Xenoblade Chronicles 3, you'll have to bear with me. I'm just going to put a timestamp somewhere to skip this bit if you're not interested in Xenoblade 3. But if you're into it, you probably read all this anyway. So as announced, Nintendo Direct presentation, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, no. Just over 4 years ago, this is what Takahashi says, sorry. Just over 4 years ago, released Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and 1.5 years since the release of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Has that been 1.5 years? Are you mad? We now bring you to news regarding the latest game from Monolith Soft, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I believe, apparently they're working on a new IP, which I'm really interested to see what it is. Whether it's going to stick to the same kind of formula or be like perhaps more of a turn-based. It's turn-based-ish, but more of a turn-based, or going to be more action-orientated, or it's going to be a fucking racing game or something. Who knows at this point? Oh, it's going to be. I believe they're going to stick to the same sort of formula as Xenoblade. But the name indicates it's the third installment of the Xenoblade series. No. The key visual features a broken greatsword of Mechonis and the body of the Urian Titan. Mate, I'm not going to spoil Xenoblade for you. I'm not going to do that. Because you've got about 100 to 200 hours per game to do that, and plus about 50 hours of Torn of the Golden Country, which is a brilliant game in its own right, to be honest with you. I've not got that, a physical edition of that. I'm still a bit pissed off that I've got the super special thing which come with it. And I wanted a case, to be honest. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's a Titan with a gaping wound. I was like, it's kicking off. So this is... It's very adamant in that, like the trailer, that there's war constantly between these tribes, or people, we'll say, or races, or whatever you want to say. So I imagine everyone who saw the trailer was quite surprised by the final scene. I watched that trailer about 500 times. What is the visual hinting at? I can't reveal that just yet. What I can tell you is that visual was conceived quite some time ago. More precisely speaking, we came up with it sometime between the end of development of Xenoblade Chronicles and the beginning of development of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So it's not something we recently added to the series. Now then. I mean, he goes on about the music. Ace is back. Ace is so good. Like, he's done a few Smash remixes as well. I think he did Metal Gear Solid 3 one? I can't remember. He's done some banging Smash remixes as well. And he goes on to say that. So, I'm excited. I'm going to watch trailer breakdowns. I'm going to break it down myself. If you want to see Xenoblade Chronicles 3, me just gushing over it and talking about it, we'll do a Xenoblade Chronicles book club or something. I don't care, mate. I'm down for that. There's interest in it. Do you know what I mean? We'll do whatever. But it is what it is. So we'll move on. Now then, if you listen closely... Now, moving on, sorry. If you listen closely, you can hear Jam shouting at the top of the tree saying, "I told you so!" Because on the 9th, when was that? Yesterday. I was at work and I was like, what? Mate, you know me, I'll take an L all day long. Every day of the week, I'll take that L. I enjoy the debate sometimes, and sometimes it's good to be like not to say I was wrong, but to like to understand that it is wrong. But Microsoft says it will keep Call of Duty on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement. This is Emma Roth from The Verge. Now then, I was adamant that once all the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted, I was adamant that they're not going to be on PlayStation ever. Not that I want it to go exclusive. I'm platform agnostic. I just want to play my games wherever I want to play them. The more people that can play these games, the better. Like, people have different preferences. That's fine. I'm not saying I want them exclusive. I'm just saying with the amount of money that is going to be exchanged, I was adamant. I was like, no, there's no way you'd spend that much and put it on the competitor's platform. But times are changing, as you can see with like Minecraft and MLB The Show and stuff like that. I'm not comparing those games, don't get me wrong, but you know what I'm saying. Emma Roth writes, Microsoft says the Call of Duty franchise and other popular cross-platform Activision Blizzard games will remain available on PlayStation if and when the $68.7 billion acquisition goes through. You read that and it's like, okay, fair enough. And there's a quote from Microsoft. It says, to be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision. Microsoft says, and we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy the games they love. Now then, time for me to be host and play devil's advocate, but there's no one here, so I'll just do it to myself. Now then, it says, make available. What does it say? It says, we will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision titles available. What does make available mean? It can mean many things, obviously. It can mean we are putting them on Game Pass through the PlayStation. I'm not sure that'll ever happen, but I think that Microsoft are going to be a bit more bullish about that if that deal goes through. I believe that a lot. And I don't know, it says, you know what I mean? And this has all come about, like last week we were talking about how the FTC was investigating the 68 billion acquisition due to antitrust, it's an antitrust review. So, like, are Microsoft building a monopoly? And I was like, I do think the deal will go ahead because I don't think anybody, like I said last week, I don't think anybody stopped anybody from coming third. Do you know what I mean? Unless, but it is what it's like the bottom bricks of the big empire at the minute, it feels like. But obviously Microsoft obviously worth more than Sony, but when it comes to revenue in this space, that they don't make as much money. But they obviously, every office in the world has Windows. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And everyone uses Word. No one uses... I say no one uses... Do you know what I mean? Access and Excel and Outlook, and that's where they make their money. The office space, I think. But to carry on, that means that in addition of Call of Duty, other Activision titles like Diablo and Overwatch should also remain available as cross-platform games. Last month, Bloomberg reported that Microsoft plans to bring the next few Call of Duty games to PlayStation for at least the next 2 years before the acquisition was made public. After those 2 years, it's up to Microsoft to decide if it continues to release Call of Duty, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Now, this also goes for like Overwatch and Diablo because they're on Switch as well. And I believe that Microsoft want to eventually put Call of Duty on the Switch, which is something I'd be interested to see. I'm not sure how you'd feel about that. Just let me know. Let's have a chat because I'm not sure. Would it sell well on Switch? Probably. But popping heads on the toilet, mate, I'd be all over that. And obviously, I always say Call of Duty plays well. I just think it's the same shit shoved down your throat, which I don't appreciate. No matter how good the game is, I just don't appreciate it. I like to play shit. Speaking of that, Microsoft president says we want to bring Call of Duty to Switch. This is Chris Scullion from VGC. Now, President of Microsoft has declared that the company wants to bring the Call of Duty series to Nintendo Switch should its acquisition go ahead. Speaking to CNBC, Brad Smith clarified again that the acquisition would not prevent future Activision Blizzard games from being released on PlayStation consoles. However, Smith then went out one step further by also confirming that the company plans to release Call of Duty and other Activision franchises on Switch for the first time. Ooh, cheeky, mate. Cheeky. I'm not sure where they're going to draw the line, though. I think the big, like the juggernauts, are going to remain multi-platform. But when you've got, does this include Crash Bandicoot? Would that be exclusive? Would Spyro be exclusive? Would Tony Hawk's be exclusive? And so would like Hexen and all that shit? I'm unsure, man. I'm not sure because. Sorry, would it be multi-platform? I'm not sure if it would be. I think that they would be exclusive. I think the juggernauts are going to be, your Call of Duty, your Overwatch, your Diablo, your Warcraft. If that makes its way to console, I don't think World of Warcraft is on console. Forgive me if it is. I'm not sure. But it's all good. It's all good in the hood. We're moving on. Now then, a game I haven't played, but I'm very interested in the story. Wolf of Wall Street. What am I talking about? The Wolf Among Us 2 has its official trailer. Should be here somewhere, or a picture of it or something. Now, Wolf Among Us. I think I said it again. This looks great. It's based on I believe, a graphic novel called. It's like Fairy Tales. Hang on. It's like Fairy Tales or something. And he plays this detective, and he obviously solves crimes and all these fairy tale creatures walking around and just chilling. But this game, it's cool because like Telltale were gone, and then they've obviously been brought back. And I'm interested to see if they've sorted out their tech was a bit dated, so their engine they used was really starting to show its age in the later games, especially, and it was just a bit rough around the edges, a lot of these games, but this looks clean, to be honest. I am interested to see what is happening because, do you know what I mean? We're going to see eventually that hopefully they can start to make quality games because, like Walking Dead Season 1, Tales from Borderlands, people like the Batman game, Guardians of the Galaxy, they had as well. I forgot about that until I saw it in CX the other day. And so on. I think they spread themselves too thin. I think that's what led to the demise. I hope they spend a lot of time on quality games, like less of them, but bump the production value up a bit, and so on and so forth. But we'll see that. It's got a release date of next year. That's all I've got is next year. So we'll have to see about that. Moving on. Exactly. Only a quick one. Let me know if you're excited about Wolf Among Us 2, because we're all about that shit, mate. All about it. A quick one, two more quick ones that I'm gonna go back to bed, to be honest with you. Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft has turned an Assassin's Creed Valhalla expansion into a standalone title last year, featuring Basim and a smaller scope than usual mainline AC titles. It will focus more on stealth gameplay and is planned for either late 2022 or 2023. So this is a standalone title meant to fill the gap before the arrival of the previous reported Assassin's Creed Infinity. It won't be a huge open world RPG like recent entries. Not every game has to be 5 million hours long. Do you know what I mean? This is from Bloomberg. I'm reading the Nibelian tweet as well. Summarised it quite nicely for me. I'm not like the biggest Assassin's Creed fan in the world. I don't like most of them. I like 2. Odyssey is good. I've not played Valhalla, but I'm sure I like that because the Vikings are my jam as well. So, but I mean, I said this with the Gears of War smaller slice. It was like a single player experience. It was about similar to Assassin's Creed. So it's a smaller slice of Assassin's Creed, and the small slice of Gears of War is probably like 3 hours long. Obviously, this isn't going to be 3 hours long. This is going to be 10, 20 hours, you imagine, with it being a smaller scope game, not open world RPG like Odyssey, Valhalla, and Origins. But we'll see. I don't know if the main character, I can't remember the fucking name, I'm sorry, the main character from Valhalla is going to be it, or it's just going to be like a separate story or side thing. I don't know. If you played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, let me know what you think. I'm very interested in to see what's going down there now. Then, last on my list, is a Japanese tweet from the Near PR account. It's near PR account. It says, this is Google Translate, so it's rough, so you have to forgive me. But the gist is, there's a Near Automata 5th anniversary live broadcast will be held on Nico Nico Live Broadcasting, looking back on the 5th anniversary and announcing some information. We are also looking for questions about Nico Nico Premium members only, corner in the latter half of the program. Well, I'm not a Nico Nico. I think it's a Japanese website. I'm not sure if it's a live stream. It is a live streaming Japanese website. I assume it's like Twitch, but in Japan. I imagine. Now, I don't. It says announcing some new information. I don't think it's a new game. I think that ship sailed. Because even Yoko Taro said that the Nier series is over, but he says a lot of stuff, to be honest. But he says that is over, and it breaks my heart because Nier Automata is one of my favourite games of all time, and Nier Replicant is also a very, very strong video game, and it probably is as well up there. I just want a fresh one. Do you know what I mean? It's been 5 years, and there's nothing. We've had the Final Fantasy 14 thing, the stage shows and the books and things, and I think there's an anime in the works, from what I understand. Whether that's going to be based on anything like the stage show or the book, or it's going to be a fresh kind of thing, I don't know. But I'd love for them to be like, yo, even if it's just Nier Automata, we've made it work on Switch. It's coming out on Switch. I'd be like, yes, let's do it right now. But it is what it is, and I can't see a new game announcement here. It's on the February 23rd at 6 o'clock. I think that's Japanese time, so it's probably about 4 o'clock in the morning for me. So I'm not on a Wednesday, mate. I'll just catch it when I get up. But I'm very excited. We'll see. Yeah. So there you go. There's that. Let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Let me know, what you thought of the Direct, what you think it's going to be at this Nier thing. If you're buzzing for Wolf Among Us 2, anything like that. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. That's it for today. We'll be back Tuesday for another report, or it might be the Plus, I don't know. Well, we'll see how it goes. We've still got a Marvel thing as well. I've got the rankings on a nice Excel spreadsheet. It's all there, ready to go. I'm just waiting for a full house. But once that's happened, it probably have to be I preferably want it to be a Thursday, because I like to do the charts and that on the Tuesday show. But until then, keep it casual, all, and peace.